That's weird. I don't know how that worked.
I don't know. I gave all of my capabilities away.
Yeah, maybe so.
Hey, Michelle. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Good to see you.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm not looking my best, but I try.
I think of you every time I get a Plano house.
Oh, yeah, we were just talking about Carpenter.
Carpenter's closed.
Yeah. And
Crazy.
I get that Sam Johnson Center email every week. So I think of you once a week.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad we're keeping y'all informed.
While I was and so I had to do that stop. Narrow my Hi, Tom Bell.
Sorry, I was saying hi, and it looks more fun at Norma's Cafe.
It is. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Probably have this on. Hi, everybody. How are ya? Good, good, good. I had to stop and think about that one for a minute, Steve. That's pretty awesome. Well, welcome, welcome. So happy to see so many bright, smiling faces today. It turned out to be a nice day after that rain. Woke me up in the middle of the night or this morning, whatever it was. Yep. Close enough to the middle of the night. So, all righty. Well, I guess we will get started. So if Glenn will put our new invocation script up on the screen and everyone can join me. People are popping in, yay. Awesome. You guys, I had the pleasure of visiting Sunrise on Friday morning with a friend, and it was quite interesting because my friend is like, she brings that age down quite a bit. And so we were sitting there and they're like, so what do you know about Rotary? And I was like, a little bit. Well, you should join our club. And then my friend turns quickly and says, no, I already tried that. She's in Plano West. So it was fun, but they meet here too and had some good breakfast. So alrighty, if you'll change to the next slide, rather than asking people to volunteer to say a prayer, I've got this that Glenn masterminded and I think is beautiful. So we're just going to read this. As we gather here today as members of Rotary, we seek to be ever mindful of opportunities to render our service to fellow citizens and to our community, keeping in mind always the enduring values of life, exerting our efforts in those areas and on those things upon which future generations can build with confidence. Let us continue to strive to make a better world. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Now, if you will stand and join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I know this is goofy, but I always love the pledge and hearing the male voices. It just resonates. No, Michael, it just resonates. I love the deep tone of all the men saying the pledge. Michelle is going to introduce all of our guests.
Good morning, everybody. We got a big group today. Okay, so on our guest list, since Molly Hancock, our member, is doing the classification talk, she brought her family / business partners with her today. So we have John and Chloe joining Molly today. So welcome, you guys. We're glad to have you. We also later on, our speaker and her guest or partner will be talking, and that's Stephanie Peacock and Keisha Siriano in the back there. And there's room up here if y'all want to sit. I know they're shy. And Stephen snuck in on us. Or Afiche, thank you. And I guess you've been here before. So
Last week, yeah.
Wonderful. Welcome back. Glad to have you.
And
And
Johnny.
oh yeah, Johnny Lewis. Oh, there he is. Johnny Lewis. He's here attending a makeup meeting. He's a Rotarian from what club? The Plano Club. Wonderful.
For a couple of years now, right? For a couple of years now, right?
How long?
About
36 years a Rotarian. Congratulations, and we're glad to have you. Okay, did I get everybody? Okay.
Thank you, Michelle. All righty. So, Mr. Steve, do you want to lead us in brags?
I'll be back. You know, Johnny's got a pretty colorful past. I believe you did some umpiring in baseball. Football. He was a ref. Yes. What was the biggest game you ever refed? Yeah. So not just a ref, but a pretty good one. He also used to own. He did that for 41 years. And your other occupation was? Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes, they do. So it's great to see Johnny. He's an awesome dude. All right, let's start here at the back of the room and see if anybody wants to brag. Yes, sir.
You know, I'll always take the microphone. So last week, as any of you who follow my Facebook know, my high school prom date passed away. And I took my daughter up to New York for the funeral and to have a daddy-daughter New York weekend. So Saturday afternoon, we go see we go see one Broadway show. And of course, as soon as I start talking, the name just drops right out of my head. No, it was, you know what? I'm not looking at my phone, so I'm not even gonna try it. But as soon as we get out of the show, she's like, Dad, can we go see another show? And so we wander over to the TKTS booth and buy tickets for a second show. And she's like, can we see another show today on Sunday? And it's like, no, we actually have to be at the airport flying back home. But 2 shows, and my 11-year-old daughter is hooked on musical theater. And this is just 2 weeks after she has picked musical theater as her elective next year in school. So, you know, let's see how that goes for mom and dad's budget.
I can think of a couple of school activities that I think cost more than that one. I know drill team is a deep amount of money out of your pocket. Because girls, they can only wear their dress
Careful,
outfit
careful, Steve, careful.
one time.
Okay. Careful, Steve.
I'm not scared. It's just a fact. There wasn't one thing that she wore except her normal drill team outfit, but all the dresses and stuff through college, one time.
So cute.
Who wants to brag next? All right, Fred. Digging holes?
This will be a brag and not a roast, but I'm glad you brought up all the background for Johnny. But one thing that he did when he did get Rotary, and the last year was the first year that I had the pleasure of interviewing the Ryla kids with Johnny and with Sharon. Now, they've driven the kids to Ryla for years, and he could tell you stories about the conversation going down there and the conversation coming back, or the lack of it because they're sleeping. But anyway, I've interviewed with a lot of people, and it was Johnny's pretty laid back, Sharon's pretty laid back, and they sit at the end of the table. And those kids came in and sat down there, and I sat next to them, and Johnny and Sharon were down there, and they were so relaxed. We didn't have to ask them questions. They just volunteered everything that we needed to know about them and stuff. But anyway, and that's why he's here today. We'll talk about Ryla afterwards. But it's a pleasure working with you, and I hope we can for many more years.
Thank you, Mr. Beaman-Durfer. Anybody else want to brag back at this end? All right.
No problem. I'll pass to you next. So I'm very excited because I mentioned that one of the things I wanted to do was start a service project addressing an area that I feel is near and dear. And one of those areas is healthcare relating specifically to maternal mortality rate. As you all know, Texas has one of the highest ones. And over the weekend, I was able to actually meet a woman who works for Parkland Hospital System. And she has said that she would love to work and collaborate with whatever project we end up coming up with to bring awareness to maternal mortality and things that we can do to be able to prevent it. So yeah, I'm very excited.
Cool.
That's awesome. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Y'all know how my heart is with Barron Elementary. And I was so excited this last Friday. We had our first Valentine's family dance since before COVID. And you could not have seen more families show up and people excited to take their pictures in front of the little screen. And to make it even better, we raised a lot of money because we had a lot of the food and drinks donated from the community, as well as our DJ was the daddy of some of the kids at our school. So he donated his services entirely. So a beautiful event, and I'm so excited for our school to be back.
Lawrence, you got anything? Okay. Anybody over here? Yes, sir.
So this isn't so much a brag as good news. So my sister-in-law went to the hospital, gosh, 3 months ago with a heart attack. And that was the good news. So she quickly had issues, kidney started to shut down, went on dialysis.
Oh, my.
And all of that reversed in like the last couple of weeks. And she's come off of dialysis, which is like really unusual, like 5% or less. And she lost a lot of weight and all of the other stuff. But no, she's actually making a full recovery and may actually be better off than when she went to the hospital at the end. So
Well, that certainly is a success story. Miss Michelle.
Thank you. So as you guys may know, it's getting to be that time of year where Plano West Rotary sponsors our adoption awareness event. We do this once a year, Glenn and I together. It's his passion project, and I just try to help him with some of the volunteer communications. And so I have to brag because I've been dragging my feet, and I finally published the sign up before coming to this meeting, and I'll start sending it out. We want to kind of bring it out in tiers. So we don't want to post it on our website yet, but we'll get there. And we're really looking forward to having a whole bunch of you guys help us volunteer. Last year we had 62 volunteers. We had about 25 kids in the North Texas foster care system. We had 122 prospective parents to come meet and have fun with these kids. That's all we do as the volunteers. 62 volunteers are responsible for providing fun and food to these kiddos and the parents. So it's not such an awkward event to try to meet up and make a forever family. You know, it's like, hey, you want to be my kid? Or hey, you want to be my mom? It's an awkward situation. And so to provide all that fun and food is what we're all about. So I'm looking forward to getting that posted and hoping you guys can come out and help us on March 25th, Saturday. Thank you.
So not really a brag, but Fred brought a case of pecans. And so that's one of our fundraisers. It's kind of almost done, but we've still got some. So if anybody wants to get them, they're right back here. And Catherine and I have little even credit card readers if you want to do that, but they're $12 a bag. We've still got some left. So when there's even more in Fred's truck, I think. So they're fresh. They're this year's pecans, and we'd love to sell a few more if you can.
Thanks, Glenn. Michelle, do we know how many of the kids that got adopted, found families last year?
She said 2. So that, I mean, 1 is excellent. So two of the kiddos were adopted, but some more, she didn't give me information, but
They
it
have to
might
keep,
be in process still, and it's
yeah, they have to keep a lot of that stuff confidential anyway. Well, last year was my first year to participate, and I had a really good time. So I would really encourage y'all to come out to that event if you can. Okay.
Yeah.
Online peeps, who wants to brag?
I got
Lisa.
one. Some of you guys might know, I spent most of January in New Zealand and Fiji. And one of the things I like about traveling is finding Rotary around the world. So I'm going to try to show this. I found a memorial in Queenstown, New Zealand on the South Island. It was put up after World War I. I don't know if you can see this, but you see how it says service above self?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it's a war memorial from the New Zealanders that died in the Great War. So I just thought that was absolutely fascinating. No, but weirdly enough, there's no rotary wheel. It just says service above self, and of course that caught my attention. And I'm assuming it was the Rotary Club in Queenstown that put that up. That's my little Rotary share.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. And all the fun locations you went to and all the bikini photos and stuff.
That must have been someone else.
Anyway, it sounds like an incredible trip. I'd like to learn more about it because my wife wants to go because of you. Yeah. So we're going to go to New Zealand now. All right. Anybody else want to brag?
I'll brag. So Lisa, you'll be happy to know, and I'm so excited to announce that I'm starting my own business. I'm a certified travel agent and now, and I'm super excited. So it's been a big learning experience, but given my experience last year going to Turkey and living out that dream, I just came back wanting to go back, but I can't just get up and go. And I love travel planning. I ask my husband, that's the hobby of mine. I'll just be on the computer, just like, okay, where can I go today? And I'll start planning a trip that I'll probably never go on. But so I thought, well, why don't I offer my services to other people? So it's called Today's the Day Travel Planning. If you all are ever in need of small groups, or you have an anniversary or family trip you want to plan, reach out to me and I would love to help you out.
Thank you very much. Don't we have one online guest today?
So Symbol is on, and I know she's
Attended one other, I think, yeah, and she turned in an application a while back, so welcome, Simbo.
Welcome.
No, thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me join. I don't know if I have anything to brag about. Over the weekend, Plano MCOR had their free citizenship workshop. I think their 16th one. So I had a chance to volunteer at that, and I was very impressed by the quality of the legal advice that was offered. And one of the attorneys, Ann Badmus, I knew her from a different capacity, and she told me she's been doing that for 10 years now. So I thought that was pretty cool. And what else? There was a panel on domestic violence, and it was put together by the Muslim American community locally, and they had 3 state reps come and talk about, what the Texas Ledge is doing when it's in relation to domestic violence or family violence. So that was pretty cool. So I got to attend that, but that's all I have.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to quickly talk about the Benevolence Committee. We've got it formed. I'm trying to get a time set up where all of us could meet together. It could be via Zoom, or it could be at a coffee shop, or whatever y'all decide you want to do. So at the end of the meeting today, after the meeting ends, if you're interested or already signed up to be on the committee, I'd just like to meet briefly to check dates. That's it. Thank you.
Awesome. The Benevolence Committee. So the Benevolence Committee
Takes the money, the club.
that we raised, yeah.
And it's our job to look at all people that have applied for, or we feel are worthy of some of that money. So y'all have a big opportunity. What we're going to do is, once we narrow it down to what we recommend, then we put it out to the club and the club votes on it. So it's pretty fun. It's not real heavy duty or anything like that.
Not time intensive.
I mean, it's always fun to try and figure out the best way to distribute the money, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'd love to have these part of it, the more the merrier. And the last thing I'll say is that you are fairly new to Rotary. This is a fantastic way to get some behind the scenes information about how Rotary works.
Absolutely. Yes.
Love to have you.
Join us. All righty. So moving right along, let's ask Molly Hancock is going to come up and do our classification talk today.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all so much for coming, and everyone online as well. Happy Valentine's Day. I put some little treats at your seat, so I hope you'll enjoy those a little later today. You're so very welcome. You're so very welcome. The title of my presentation is The Many Hats That Molly Wears. When Jennifer suggested that I would speak, I was always a little disconcerted about what should I talk about because I do so much. And she said, talk about it all. So with that said, I'm going to start with my first hat. I'm going to say I've been a 25-year practicing realtor in the Dallas Metroplex. It's been extremely rewarding, and I've had the opportunity to help over 700 families buy and sell their homes. A little fun fact about Abby Halliday, she actually came to Dallas as a milliner. A milliner is someone that makes hats, and it was through her hat job that she actually met a gentleman that convinced her to become a realtor and help him sell his houses. So, little fun fact about Abby Halliday. My second hat is my family and I thank them for coming today as well, John and Chloe. But in the real estate business, as you can imagine, there are lots of boxes involved. Every time you pack up, you know, you got to get cardboard and pack it up and tear it down and throw it away. Well, I have been very active about being as ecologically conscious my whole life. And so in 2013, I learned about this concept of renting moving supplies. And I was like, oh my God, that is brilliant. So in 2013, I worked full time. I still work full time. My husband was a full-time school teacher. So it wasn't really the right time to explore it further. But in 2015, we got to explore it further and we started Elephant Trunk Moving Supplies. We provide an option to the cardboard box on the local move. We've kept about 150,000 cardboard boxes out of the landfill. As a company, we've never sent anything to the landfill, and that makes us very proud. We're economical. We're about $2.50 a box. I have some brochures today, so if anyone is interested, I'm happy to share them, and you can learn a little bit more about Elephant Trunk. This is a photograph that was taken in 2005 on June 19th. This was my family. On July 31st, our son died in a car accident, and it forever changed our lives. And to this day, it's still something that we struggle with, I personally, which led us to, our daughter was in 5th grade, and a counselor in PISD introduced us to an organization called Journey of Hope. Journey of Hope provides support for families that have had loss at no cost. I mean, everybody has had loss, but the education that helps us navigate that path isn't always apparent. And so now it is 17 years later, we support Journey of Hope wholeheartedly. Chloe is a facilitator. And this last year, we presented the very first Mad Hatter's Tea Party fundraiser for Journey of Hope. I had never done a fundraiser of this magnitude, but it was a great deal of fun. And we will continue to have that as we go further. A little other fun fact, every year Journey of Hope has a candlelight memorial, you know, leading into the holiday seasons when you have had significant loss. You know, it's always it could be a very hard journey through the holidays. Well, this candlelight memorial service gives us an opportunity to recognize our loved one. And Glenn, I learned the first year that I was in Rotary, I'm leading into my 3rd year. Glenn comes and he plays music at that candlelight service. So we're so appreciative for what he does there. But I think that's it. I've covered it. I mean, I had 5 minutes, so I think I've been able to tell you a lot about who I am and why I joined Rotary. One of the things, I mean, back to caring about the environment, I learned that, you know, we have a stretch of road in East Plano and we collect garbage. And so that was my very first volunteer opportunity with Rotary several years ago. And I just, you know, really felt that this was a calling for me. So thank you again for taking the time to listen to my story and to learn about all of my hats. Wish all a very happy Thanksgiving.
I just wish I could pull hats off like she does. Every one of them looked great on her, right? I feel like I put them on, I'm like, yeah. Okay, so we'll go quickly through a couple of items for business. One was I wanted to make sure Glenn also mentioned that in the brags that we have some pecans left. So as Glenn said, Fred brought a box in. It's in the back. If anybody's interested in purchasing the whole box, it's $300. Otherwise, you could do a couple of bags at $12 a piece. And then let him know, get with Fred if anybody else would like to get some and give them as gifts or sell them yourself or whatever you would like to do with them. The other thing was that the scholarships are now open. So if you know, it's not just open to high school students, it's also, and she is not here. It's also, I believe, have expanded it to single moms that are looking to go to college, and Tamara would tell us more about that, but she's at the doctor's office. And then we've got all of the normal stuff up here. I wanted to highlight quickly the art of reading we're going to be doing on March 2nd from 4 to 9. That's a new project that we just added, and it is James Thomas's wife, beautiful wife, Shun, is leading that project. So it should be fun. You get to come dressed as your favorite Dr. Seuss character. So yeah, reading to kids, promoting reading for kids and the benefits of it. So it's going to be a great event. The other thing, I didn't get to brag, but I want to brag that I feel like the thing I don't like about being president, are we recording?
Yeah, we are.
The one thing I don't like about being president is I don't get to visit with anybody at the meetings. That it bothers me. I leave here going, but I had the pleasure of having coffee with Peter last Wednesday. He came to my office and we just sat and had coffee, and it was awesome. So I'm looking forward to July 1st when I can get back to sitting on the other side of this for the whole hour and hanging out and chatting with everybody. I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't have said all that. You're still president nominee. You still have to put in your year, girl. You still got to do it. No, it's good. I love it. I just don't get to be on the other side and visit. And that's part of what gives me happiness and helps me to choose joy, as Michelle Shirt says. So with that, with all my rambling, Joanna is going to introduce our guest presenter today. And Stephanie, we thank you for coming back a second time.
Yeah, that was on me.
No, it's technology. I think there are brilliance in that.
Well, so I do have to say, first of all, mea maxima culpa, Stephanie. We have this Google Calendar, and that's how I keep track of who's going to talk on what day. And I had it set up and it was correct the first time, I promise you. And then somehow it got deleted. And then I put it back on, and then I put it back on for 9 o'clock in the morning because my head was somewhere dark. So yeah, so Stephanie came up here at 9 o'clock in the morning. So I'm really sorry. Anyway, she is with the city of Plano, and she's going to talk to us about Plano's best neighborhoods, and BEST stands for, just in case y'all didn't know, beautiful, engaged, safe, and thriving. Let's give a rotary welcome to Stephanie Pico. You want me to do the hand out if you want?
I can run your slider, I can bring them up here.
That would be great. I'll just do it.
While that gets pulled up, can you guys hear me okay? Yeah, thanks for having me. Keisha Siriano is here as well. She is the Best Neighborhoods Division Manager. She's my boss. Super excited that she's here. I've been with Neighborhood Services since the end of November. So I'm the newest team member, but really happy to be here.
Pull down the screen just a little.
I did earlier, it wasn't working.
It's just my name. We're good. We're gonna be good.
Do this down arrow.
Down arrow. Beautiful. Okay, so just briefly, Neighborhood Services Department We consist of 3 divisions. The first one I'm going to talk about is the Best Neighborhoods Division. That's my team. We exist to enhance Plano neighborhoods by providing responsive programming and then partnering with neighborhoods, community volunteers, looking at all of y'all, and departments, City of Plano departments. Then we also have community services. They preserve our neighborhoods. We rely on them for servicing our unhoused population. Y'all might be familiar with the Great Update rebate, first-time home buyer. They also manage the day labor center as well. And then property standards, they work to make sure that all of the property maintenance codes are adhered to. They do a great job of partnering with residential and commercial organizations to keep all of that up to where it needs to be. And hope is our why. Why do we do the work we do? We do it to create hope and propel positive change so that people are proud to call Plano home. One of the programs that my division runs is Love Where You Live. Are y'all familiar with this program? Okay, it's a neighborhood revitalization program. We have a 2-prong approach. One is physical transformation. So we have 2 service days a year, one in the spring, one in the fall. We go in, we do neighborhood cleanup, we do minor home repairs, curb painting, trash pickup, all that kind of fun stuff. And then we also work to do social transformation. So we host workshops. We try to find leaders within each of those neighborhoods, get them on board, find out what their needs are, what their vision is for their neighborhood, and then work to help them craft workshops, fun social events that is going to make some lasting change in their neighborhood. I loved your invocation at the beginning when you called out wanting to make lasting, like generational change. And when I think of Love Where You Live, I really hope that we're making lasting generational changes. Here's just an example of a home before and after on a service day. So you can see the volunteer teams went in, they cleaned it up, much better curb appeal on the after. Love Where You Live neighborhoods. How are they selected? Well, we score neighborhoods, and you can see on the right side what we look for. We look at property standards. We look at how many violations. We look at crime, age of housing, age of residents, and then it all goes in the map. And the higher the score, you get to the blue. So you see the blue there? Y'all tell me if this gets too close to my mouth. So blue is where we're going to target for our revitalization program. And what that has looked like in real time, here are the neighborhoods that we visited. So you can see we're in South Central Plano over here, and then also along the east side of Plano as well. These are the neighborhoods that we visited. Our upcoming service day is going to be April 22nd. We're going to look at kind of the numbers in a minute, and you'll see why we're doing what we're doing. But this service day, we have a few homes that we are finishing up in 2 of the neighborhoods. Part of this is due to the pandemic and the impact that that had on our volunteer numbers. We still have some work to finish before we launch in fall of 2023 in our new neighborhood. So we have 5 homes that still need project leaders and crews in Armstrong Park, and 2 in the Clearview Thunderbird area. This is taking a look at the impact Love Where You Live has had over the years. So this is from the beginning of the program. We have had over 9,000 volunteers. We've had over 44,512 volunteer hours. We have removed over 208 tons of landscape and almost 144 tons of trash. We have helped 495 homes. We're pretty excited about what we do with Love Where You Live. You can see the last few years, 2018 to 2019, over 1,100 volunteers. That was a huge year for us. And then COVID hit, and you see the decline, and I'm sure you're all familiar with that. We are really proud of the work that we did. If you look at the number of homes in 2020, we still got 34 done. And then this past year, even though we only had 344 volunteers, we were still able to do home repair projects on 24 houses.
But one of the reasons why I'm here is because we are ready to re-engage and get that volunteer number back up to pre-COVID. Saturday, April 22nd is our next service day. We have those 5 homes in Armstrong Park and 2 in Clearview Thunderbird. I actually have printouts here that give you a brief overview of what those projects are. I'm going to start these down this side. There's also a little QR code that will lead you to more information. Do you mind if I hand that to you? Thank you. But just to give you kind of a feel, what we are looking for is tree and shrub trimming. We have painting repair. We've got some window replacement. Some of the homes need fence work. We've got some gutters that need to be rehung, caulking, painting, that kind of stuff. But they're all listed on that sheet there. Yes. Hi.
I don't know if it's okay for me to interrupt, but
yes, please do.
I've heard of a program called Plano Helpers. Would that fall under this, or is that something totally separate?
It's separate.
Okay.
Yeah. And then in fall 2023, we have picked our new Love Where You Live neighborhood, which is Village Creek. Are y'all familiar where that is? Do you know? Okay, so Parker Road, and then like, oh my goodness. It's K. What is the big grocery store?
Costco. Sam's.
It's the big Korean food mart.
Oh, yeah.
H Mart. I wanted to say K and I knew it wasn't K. H Mart is right here. And so that is close to Barron. Yes. Yes, I know you love Barron. I heard you say that. But those families, they are zoned for the Barron school in that neighborhood. Do you have any questions about Love Where You Live? Yes.
It seems like years ago, I attended a meeting or two, but how does a group sign up for one of those?
Okay, so I have multiple ways that you can do that. I have a physical sign-up sheet where you could give us your information. Tell us if you are thinking about maybe being a project leader or a crew member, and then we would come back and contact you. You could take out your phone and you could scan that QR code, and that will get you there as well. Okay.
Well, I remember when I think it was Love Where You Live, and we would have different projects, and some was like, okay, this one's already taken, this one's taken, but here's some that you could go for.
Yes, so that QR code will get you there, and
Okay,
then it's Padlet where it opens up the map and it shows you like the project packet for each one.
Okay.
That will get you there. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Work with Habitat managing in Collin County. And, we really enjoy some of the projects that are introduced to this. Some of the ones we take on is more of a rebuilding of the house, big stuff, but it's still going through a lot of work.
Well, thank you very much. There are some homes that, need more, they need some skilled labor. It goes beyond just unskilled rehab. Thank you. Wendy actually has spoken very highly of the work with Habitat. So thank you very much for that. Any other Love Where You Live questions? No? Okay, another volunteer powered program we have is Plano Cares. The way this works is Property Standards actually manages the projects, but Best, my division, manages the volunteer intake on this. So Plano Cares stands for Code Abatement by Residents Engaged in Service. So what this program really does is it connects volunteers to residents who usually due to financial hardship or maybe disability are really unable to resolve their residential code violation. And so there are regular work days, the second Saturdays. This runs March through November. If you're interested in that, it's a great way to help someone who has code violations, but has a legitimate reason why they are struggling to resolve them.
So you sign up for those the same way?
That QR code
Yeah.
is going to take you there. I tried to get everybody pointed in the same direction.
Okay.
So Love Where You Live and Cares they live on kind of the same, there's a single page, web page that'll get you there.
Okay.
Okay. Questions about this program? Yes.
Actually, this is for the program, a general question, are any of them kid friendly?
So love where you live. Usually on our service days, we have opportunity for youth, and that looks like the litter cleanup portion. And then I know we've had youth groups do the curb painting before. For this spring, we don't have litter cleanup. We have specific homes. Oh, are you changing that?
That's true what you're saying.
Okay.
But if you're working on a house, if there's a door for a child.
So age of kid, yeah, and appropriateness. But then in the fall, we'll have the full litter cleanup and lots of youth engagement in that. We have lots of families come out for that. Mhm. Yeah. Any other questions?
I have a quick question. I don't know if you can hear me.
Oh.
Simple have a question.
Oh, yes, I was just asking,
Hang
so
on,
any
hang
of
on.
these,
Do
can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now, Symbol.
Okay. Any of the service projects where, there's minor repairs to the homes, like how good would you have to be at that? Like, I don't go around, fixing things all the time, but like, do you know what I mean? How much experience do you need to help out with that?
Well, you're going to work as part of a crew. And so I would say things like painting, things like that, just a willingness and a can-do spirit. And then the intent to just give it your best work, right?
Okay.
And it's kind of amazing to see what people come together and achieve. I think the camera's over here. Sorry, I'm trying to look at you. Can you see me while I answer you? So I would say, there's a lot of work that does not require skilled labor. So it's okay if you don't consider yourself a skilled repair person. There's enough work to go around where you would absolutely be valuable to the team.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else? All right, touching on community services. I mentioned that they serve our unhoused population. These are just a few photos of sometimes what that looks like. We have care packages there. And then this is a photo from PIT count, point in time count, that happens every January. We just finished that. Volunteers serve and go out and help us count on a single night all of the unsheltered, unhoused people that we can find. And then our community services team also does a lot of partnership with other homeless services providers, participate in the Collin County Homeless Coalition. They actively work to serve the people here. We do street outreach every single week. Goes out, we have police officers, we have mental health care providers, and then we have staff. One of the volunteer opportunities that exists within our department is putting together the care packages that are distributed when those weekly street outreaches take place. There's a specific way to put those together. You can access all of that on our website. You can get there through that QR code. There are several different types of care packages. One is a food package, one is a hygiene package, but we are always in need of those as well. Questions about that? Okay. We are very excited about an upcoming roundtable series that we are hosting this spring. We are going on a listening tour. We are listening to a whole bunch of different groups of people, and one of those groups are our community volunteer organizations. We are asking the question, what is the chart? What is the course you want to chart in 2023? And how can we come alongside you and help chart that course forward? Any person in this room and your other volunteer friends who would like to come, we would welcome you. You can use that QR code. Everything's on our website. But if you're interested in this, I would specifically love to have your email, and I can get an invitation out to you. This is going to happen on Thursday, March 16th. We're going to have a light lunch there. We are going to sit down with other volunteer organizations, kind of talk about the state of things here in the city and how we can all come together, make a plan and move forward. Yes. Okay.
For the state of Texas, can I bring my partners maybe to that meeting? That's been sitting on it, round table. Or
Yeah, sure. As,
all different types of local governments here.
yes, if you're there in a volunteer capacity,
Yeah, volunteer
absolutely.
capacity, yeah.
Yes, that'd be beautiful. Yeah. Another question? No? Okay. This is my last slide. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
But I did have another question.
Yes.
So, might have been this organization that I looked at before that you even have, if you sign up, you have a, like if we're going to an area to, let's say, pick up trash or something, you have, we could schedule that and you could have a truck or something come and pick that up. We don't have to, I mean, we could just tell you where it is and you could dispose of that.
Yes. So have you participated in Live Where You?
Yeah. it's been a
Yes.
while.
So that is how it's set up.
Yeah,
We
okay.
have dump trucks. We've got giant dumpsters set up at our command site. And yes, once you have the
Okay.
work done, we come behind and collect.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
On the care program.
Uh-huh.
Is it primarily or strictly exterior stuff? What about our individuals that are either full of terms? Make it difficult for kids to get in their homes.
I don't.
Exterior only, but we do have a small budget, mid-year budget, for us to help more of those residents.
That was a targeted question.
Yes.
I'm the executive director for the Wellness Center.
Yes.
And we used to do, so Josh would bring us.
I'm going to hand this over. Thank you very much for your time. I was excited to be here.
Yes, thank you.
You know, Michelle, we might look at doing that because Stephanie, the club Plano West used to make hygiene kits, or actually they weren't hygiene sandwiches for street side showers. And since the shift and now they're doing Saturdays and our meetings are on Tuesday afternoons, the timing of making sandwiches and stuff just hasn't been conducive. But we could probably pull together, because Michelle and I have been wanting to do another for the unhoused population project. So maybe we could look at doing
Last time was just, we can do this again, but we gotta get the things that they want. And then we order them through an Amazon link and then they come to my house, and I bring here and then y'all from over.
And we've also
We could-
had.
people just bring kits.
You would deliver them to the Neighborhood Services Department building. It's on 15th. It's right down the street. But we don't accept sandwiches. Like when you click through, it is shelf stable food, right? And there's a specific list of each item that needs to go in a food bag, and each item. It's the same building.
But it's gotta be like all this together.
In a, yes, already bagged, where we could just hand out the bag.
So that's.
So that would be the service project part. So are you wanting to, yeah, exactly. I could drop them off. It's right down. I took actually, honestly, the last drive that we did for hygiene kits, it was a district wide event that we made hygiene kits, and the wellness center got like 5 or 6 boxes of like 40 per box or something, because I have a social worker that does Lee Stark. Do you know that name? Okay. Yeah. Lee's mine. So he's out on the street all the time. So he was taking and distributing these at over at Warming Station and at Street Side Showers. but we had one box left in his office and I found it the other day.
Yeah.
Right before the pit count, and I went and dropped it off at your office, so. It had Rotary on the box. I was like, oh, wow, look, we still have a box left, but it went for the pit.
Had their exact same list.
It probably did not, but I don't think they threw it away. I'm sure they used it, because it was all,
To reorder.
I think it was pretty close because I kind of rummaged through the box, but you know, it's simple stuff, but I think that would be awesome, especially if Brett wanted to like organize that for us to do it. I mean. Yeah, because we've been wanting to do, I mean, the sandwiches was just an example because of Lance and street set showers, but yeah, so.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, guys, look for a working meeting where we do a service project at the meeting. That would be so fun. I always enjoyed the sandwiches. Always enjoyed the sandwiches. So anyways, I rambled on. Stephanie, in appreciation of your time and presenting to us today, we make a donation in your name to the Polio Plus Fund. And that is matched 3-to-1 by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So $30 will be given in your name, which provides vaccinations for 50 children. So if you'll give us your address, I don't know if we're still doing, if you'll give us your address, then you can get a letter directly from Rotary International thanking you for the donation and letting you know the impact. So at any rate, so next week, Shauna Haley, she is the Director of Communications and Community Outreach for the City of Plano. She is also my board secretary. So I think, you know, I want us to all show up in strong power and lots of numbers, make me look good. No, she's awesome, but yes, she is the Wellness Center board. She's my secretary, and she's going to come talk to us about the City of Plano's. Is it the birthday? Is it the anniversary? What do you call it? The birthday. Okay, that's what I always struggle. Is it birthday? Is it anniversary? What is it? So yes, the city is celebrating their 150th birthday, and I think I don't know who's gonna actually do the project, but I'm also in leadership Plano class of 39. I'm not going to say it, but I hear it in my head. But one of the projects that was proposed to us that we voted on as a class was to do a time capsule for the 150th birthday. It wasn't selected, but I understand that somebody else is going to take it on. It did make sure it happens, but I think that's really cool to do that. And it was going to be opened up in 25 years. They were going to open the capsule and all kinds of fun stuff. So,
hey, Joy.
Yes, ma'am.
Were you trying to remember the name of what you call 150th anniversary?
It is that.
It's the sesquicentennial.
There you go.
Sesquicentennial, 6 syllables.
My tongue gets tied and it sounds like something that would come out of Steve's.
I have one fun fact though about time capsules. So did you know that there was a time capsule buried in Haggard Park? Wow, like way back when, maybe in the 70s or something. And it got lost in the renovation of the park. And now nobody knows where it is. So it's a mystery.
Oh no.
I know. So let's not lose this one. That's all I'm saying.
Let's not lose this one. It sounded like lots of fun, but
Find my phone thing in there.
There you go. I think
a couple of face masks
items that they want to make sure are put in it. But yes, sir.
Did we ever find out if we're participating in Texas?
We are. No, we are. Mike submitted the application. So the Texas Forever Fest is on March 25th, 11 to 6. And last year was the first one. And that was our dipping our toes back into funnel cakes. And it was a raging success. We submitted our application to participate again this year, but as far as I know, the last email Mike received, they hadn't done the selection part yet. So I don't.
I will tell Jim that
Because when he came last time, he texted somebody and said, we'll have a decision by Friday. So somebody needs to be off there.
Oh, well, that's the city. They're running that show, but I know we submitted our application and I think it's the middle or end of February, if memory serves, that they were evaluating all the applications and stuff, so.
We need to find out though, in case he's gonna fall too, otherwise.
Yeah.
It's like,
We've already got the groundwork for the sign up genius and everything that we can use from last year's, so. Just thank you for the reminder, but we'll watch for it and be sure that's out there.
Festival last year, we started barbecue and some other items.
Mhm.
We were not concerned. We can have an item for sale or distribution, but it must be sealed and packaged. Certainly, they're not allowed to farm things, but they're kind of bringing in the
Individualized, the quality, gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, yeah. Well, I know we had the longest line. No, I'm just kidding. We did have a very long line, but at any rate, so yes, everybody be here next week, right? We're all gonna be here. We're gonna make Joy look good to her board secretary. Trying.
All right.
Okay, if you will join me in the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First,
Is it the truth?
second,
Second, is it fair to all concerned?
third,
Will build goodwill and better friendships.
fourth,
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
and five.
And fun.
Is
Is it fun?
Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful rest of the week.
Thanks, Kelly.
Bye. Have a good week.
Bye.